some men, no disrespect to y'all,
Right.
are not cut out for that because it takes a very extremely high alpha man, I think, that would be willing to say, listen, I saw all of you grimace. I watched all your facial expressions. Hold on, let me finish momentarily. That will be willing to step in and raise someone else's son. That takes a very brave, bold man. And there are men out there in the world who will do it when they see the value of a woman that's serving them and saying, listen, yes.
Did you say that there were men that openly came into your life and wanted to help raise your kid?
Yes.
Where are they now?
Well, I was going to tell you.
Why didn't they make the cut?
Well, first
Them niggas are so alpha.
I know I'm rare, but I do think it's a huge missed opportunity that men are passing on really good single moms like myself because they feel some type of way about it. And like she said, that's your prerogative. But you're also missing the most feminine, nurturing woman on the planet, or that I've been told.
Wait, let me get McQueen's thoughts here. McQueen, are you being sold on becoming
No, he's not. He doesn't want.
Absolutely not.
He
Nigga,
doesn't
I
want to
don't
take
give a
care.
fuck. I'm not hearing none of this shit, really.
You got the simplest answers.
Yeah,
They're not playing this game.
No, because it's just like, how you gonna tell me I'm not alpha because I don't want to raise your fucking kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right.
Probably not the safest route to go.
I think the truth is that's what we're all doing.
And that's what
Right, and that's a normal thing to do. That's a
fine.
responsible thing to do, and I think
no
that's what an
one's
alpha would do at the end of the day.
telling the other.
I mean, they'll say, oh, that I don't count because I have a kid. And I'm
No,
like, that, you don't count because you said that comment.
There's lots of things that aren't ideal.
Most women in their 20s, and I will surpass all of them in regards to the characteristics that I bring to a man and to his life.
Let's be clear. Calling men who raise another man's child high alpha is complete fantasy. It's a fairy tale women tell to shame men into a terrible deal. A real alpha is a man who builds his own legacy and protects his own bloodline. His time, resources, and energy are for his own children, not for cleaning up another man's mess. So my question is this. If you're such a rare prize, why do you need to convince us? Why isn't the line of high alpha men already out the door? The answer's obvious. A man who falls for this isn't alpha. He's a mark. He's been sold a lie to get him to settle for a situation that offers him nothing but baggage. It's the oldest trick in the book. Convince a man he's a hero for accepting a losing hand.
Hi everyone, I'm about to go on a date. Wish me luck. More like wish him luck, right? I'll keep you posted. So the date started at 7:15. It is about 7:53 right now. So a little bit over a half hour. And then I had to walk out on the date. This is what happened. We got to talking about our personal lives, you know, what do you do for work, you know, relationships and things like that. And I talk about, oh yes, I was previously married and I have a child who's 8 years old, who I co-parent with my ex-husband and his wife. And then all of a sudden he started freaking out. And he's like, oh, you have a kid? And he says, oh, I can't date somebody who has a kid. Like, to my face. He's like, I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, excuse me? And he starts making me feel like very uncomfortable. I'm like, nobody should ever make me feel like that, especially on a date. Are you kidding me? I had to walk out on this date because this guy said, I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I think you were very misleading in your profile. And I'm like, why? Because I didn't put a picture of my son in my profile? Seriously? Like, there's a lot of pedophiles on those apps. I don't disclose that unless we're talking on the phone or if we meet in person. The guy is 40 years old. 40 years old. To think that you're going to date women who don't already have children, who have never been married, is absolutely absurd. Absurd. I never hid anything. And quite frankly, I called him out at the bar and I'm just like, oh, so you don't like kids? He's like, oh no, I like kids. I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, oh, you can't date somebody who has a kid? Maybe you should put in your profile that you don't like children. Okay? That you're not even going to try to give this date, give us a chance, because I have a wonderful, amazing 8-year-old son. Okay? To me, that's not a family man. No. That man's looking to destroy, and I want no part of it.
The biggest problem that I see here is that man is now being shamed for his very valid preferences. And that is coming from a woman that was once a single mom. Is her point about blasting photos of her son all over her dating profile correct? Yeah, but that's not what he necessarily asked for. All that she really literally needed to do was mention him when they were talking before going out on a very nice date. But instead of taking accountability for not communicating that ahead of time, she ends up shaming him. She says that he makes her feel uncomfortable during the date, literally because he's talking about what he doesn't like. She even twists it into him just not liking kids, being like this devilish man that's going to destroy. Are you kidding me? And why would you want to convince him to be with you despite your son? And side note, if you think that it's unreasonable for him to think that he can find somebody that doesn't have children or who hasn't been previously married, I would say the same thing for you. Because that's actually the case more so for women by the age of 40. They should not expect to meet somebody that doesn't have children. But for men that are in their 40s, they can actually date younger and they could potentially find somebody that hasn't been married and doesn't have kids. That's just the truth.
She hides a major part of her life, then plays the victim when the man has a completely normal boundary. He was honest the moment he found out. She was dishonest by omission. So why is he the bad guy? Let me ask you, if having a son is so amazing, why is it a secret to be revealed after the date starts? This wasn't an oversight. It was a strategy. She tried to get him emotionally invested first, and it backfired. He didn't make her uncomfortable. Her own deceptive strategy blowing up in her face made her uncomfortable. He just saved himself.
What comes to my mind when men say that nobody wants a single mom, you guys sleep with dead bodies. The turkeys aren't safe. Like, be so for real. Oh, nobody's gonna want you if you're a single mom. Y'all want goats. Getting a man is the easiest thing that any woman could do. You could literally swing your purse at a Walmart and hit 10 dudes that would do it. And I'm not even just talking about men that would sleep with you. I'm talking about men that would commit into a relationship with you. Just know, okay, listen, that these men who say that nobody wants a single mom and you're gonna be alone forever with your cats and your wine, just know that they are projecting so hard. They want you to think that you can't do better than them. The reason why men want the bar in hell is so that they never have to do better. Raise that bar. Being single is so much better than being with a trash man. Every time I see a post by a single mom making a joke at exactly this, you see the comment sections are just filled with women telling stories of how many men have hit on them when they were married with children, when they're single with children. It doesn't matter. What women need to be doing is asking themselves why men are so desperate for women to believe that single moms are washed up. Ask yourself how this whole goddamn thing serves the patriarchy. Anyway.
This is the most desperate cope I've ever seen. She's bragging she can find 10 men at Walmart, but she's lying to herself and to you about why those men are there. Let's be brutally clear. Those men are not lining up to be a stepdad. They are not there to pay her bills, discipline her kids, or deal with her baby daddy drama. They are there for one reason, and one reason only: to smash. They see a single mom as an easy target for no-strings-attached sex. They are players, simps, and low-value men with no options who will tell her whatever she wants to hear to get what they want. So her big boast is that she can attract men who want to use her. The ones with options and self-respect, they're nowhere near this situation because they're too smart to sign up for her terrible deal.
I made plans to go on a date with this guy on Tuesday, and in the meantime, we were just exchanging texts, like getting to know each other. As a mother, I asked him a really important question.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
Let me just spell out, like, the issue with those texts from yesterday. It's not a problem to have preferences and for it to not be ideal to date a mom, right? But then, like, why match with me? Why talk to me if it's not ideal? It's such a rude way to say it. Do I have preferences with dating? Yes, I think it's totally okay to have preferences, but at the same time, empathy and compassion and the way that you communicate with someone and not like being condescending to them matters. And also, I feel like he was jumping to so many conclusions, which to me was just, he was like bleeding insecurity and ego, because it's like those weren't even issues. The fact that they were getting brought up when I was just genuinely, I should have said, how do you feel about me being a mom, not a single mom? That was like my bad, because we were both single, so I even put that in there, like, how do you feel about me being a mom? But other than that, like, I had one girl who was like, you baited him. I'm like, no, I didn't. I was asking discovery questions, you know? Like, if someone's gonna say that they don't like something that is a core identity of who you are and a huge part of your life, I think it's super important to like get, you know, to the crux of it. And I wanted to know, because in my experience dating with men, there are a lot of men that have a lot of really gross feelings towards single moms, which I think is so strange, especially because like we birth the entire population. Like, women are magic. I feel like more men need to look at mothers as like in being in awe of them, especially a single mom, because like we're doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, I have been in extremely controlling and jealous relationships in the past, and I will not do it again. The moment that I see like a very controlling or jealous guy, I'm out. My last relationship was crazy. Like, he like was trying to control if I could go to the gym, if I could go to a sauna. I wasn't allowed to hang out with my gay best friend because he's a guy. Like, stuff like that is so weird to me. And it's just, I'll never do it again, because you lose so much of yourself. And like, I want a guy who doesn't see me as an inconvenience, or the fact that I'm a mom as an inconvenience, because it's not. I mean, I support myself. Look what I've built for myself. My son is an incredible human being. He's gonna be an adult in like 4 years, you guys. It's just, I can't even, I don't know. The people who like disagreed with that text being bad, it's concerning.
She's conducting job interviews for a father figure, and then gets offended when candidates read the job description. She says, I don't want to be an inconvenience, but let's look at the job requirements. Instant fatherhood, less time and attention, and a former boss, the baby daddy, who's permanently on the payroll. That's the definition of an inconvenience. My question for her is, if two identical women stood in front of a man, one with a child and one without, which one do you think he'd pick? It's not personal. It's common sense. Men are simply choosing the path of least resistance and most peace. And she's mad that she represents the harder path.
This one will sting, but it's the truth. A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms, not because they're bad people, okay, but because of the baggage that comes with it. Let's break it down, shall we? A divorced woman usually carries emotional scars. She's been through betrayal, conflict, failure, child custody, and often she hasn't healed from it. That pain doesn't just disappear. It bleeds into the next relationship. Men can feel that bitterness, that distrust, and most don't want to pay for what the last man did. Now let's talk about the single moms. It's not just about dating her. It's about inheriting her past. The ex is always in the picture. The baby daddy will be forever tied to her and her child. And no matter how great the guy is, he's never the first priority. Her kids will be. And they should be. The child should come first. But most men aren't signing up to be second place in their own relationship. It doesn't mean divorced women or single moms can't find love. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean the pool is smaller, because men weigh these realities before committing to somebody. So stop shaming men for wanting less baggage. It's not hate, it's honesty. If you want a high value man, you've got to bring more than wounds and history to the relationship. You have to bring healing, peace, and partnership, because that's what men stay for.
Dating a single mom is one of the worst financial and emotional deals a man can ever make. You're signing a contract where you take on all the responsibilities of a father, providing, protecting, disciplining, but you have zero authority. You're not the real dad. Your resources are funneled into another man's child, meaning you have less for your own future children. You inherit permanent drama with the baby daddy, and you will always be her second priority. So why would any logical man with self-respect and other options willingly choose this?